Hey, I'm Ayenara and welcome to part 2 of my game against Ix329. He has just attacked me and I will try to defend, and I'm feeling quite confident I can actually win this battle, but I have to watch out. I know he has rot, so I can't put my trebuchets too close to each other. And I also have a battering ram that I'll have to worry about. And since I didn't move my stacks correctly before this battle, my trebuchets are still a bit damaged. Anyway, because I have to spread out my machines, my whole army will be a bit spread out, but it's actually a good thing because he has a couple of flamers that if I stand too close with everything, they will do a lot of damage. So right now my plan is to just consolidate my forces. I don't want to go face rush him or something, and my thinking is that I'll be able to snipe him a bit with my trebuchets and force him to come to me. I'm trying to check a bit what spells he might have, because that might affect how I'm gonna play this. I'm not really sure exactly what my thinking is. I mean, it's usually not that much more complex than just get everything together and see what happens. All my units are heretic, so all his devout units will do extra damage. But I don't think he managed to get his cavalry and infantry isn't upgraded to devout. I don't think the supports are either, I'm not sure, but I know that yes, his leader is devout. So he has 3 raptors and 1 beetle rider. I think it's 3 flamers and 4 elders. I have my sorcerer hero, so I can use her steel enchantment to get one of the dragon ancestry buffs. And my other units are quite leveled also. I think I have a silver flyer, and I think most of my forge priests are high level as well, so they all have dispel. But his melee will do a lot of damage, and he gets a berserk on this dreadnought. It's a bit annoying because even if it won't kill anything, it will waste some time for me, and I'll be a bit stuck here in the middle. I can't retreat more, which I probably would have liked to. Now I instead have to take care of this berserk, which it's possible with this spell. It's not end of the world, but I'll have to try to heal up this trebuchet as well. And taking care of all of this, the effects of the berserk, my units are getting quite close to each other, and they'll need to be defended as well, because I don't want to just let them stand there with their backs against enemies. But overall I feel like I have a bit too many machine units for this fight. I talked about it a bit earlier that I would have if were to play this match, I probably won't build that many trebuchets. But I think it's mostly the spy drone and the battering ram that makes it difficult for me. And maybe it's a bit greedy, but I want to try to save them all. And at the same time, I want to avoid putting the spy drone in a position where it can blow up on me with its explosive death. But I got some good spells I'd like to use. I got the Hornet Swarm, I think, on my Archdruid. But even if my trebuchets have 7 range, his flamers have in effect 6. So it's not much of a range advantage I have. So that Boar Rider, I think, I think this is like the position I want to try and hold. And if he goes for me, hopefully my counterattack will be strong enough. But yeah, all my units are a bit cramped, and I think if I didn't really think about the flamers that much, because they will be able to do a lot of damage. So this is not really a good position, and I didn't really play this as good as I could have. I think yeah, it's the screen is paused here a bit because I tabbed out. My computer isn't very strong. And even if I said that I want to avoid having the spy drone blow up on me, it's still in a bad position. I think I would be better served having it behind my troops. And these flamers will do a lot of damage because he will buff them up with Dragon Ancestry. So I definitely positioned myself in a bad way this turn. I would have had to spread out my troops a bit more. There were some troops that had to be close together, but others didn't need to. So that flamer gets a pretty good shot that he shouldn't have gotten. So spreading out my troops a bit more and moving my spy drone behind my army instead of having it in the front, because that's free damage for him. As with the last part, I haven't looked through this battle beforehand. I'm looking at it and commentating as I go, improvising. I don't really have any script or anything. He's trying to flank my trebuchets that are a bit alone here, so I want to defend them a bit. So I think that's one of his rots that he used. And this gives me... I know that he only has one more rot. So I think that... at the time I felt that I could probably put my machine units a bit more together. I didn't need to have... As long as I didn't get 3 in one shot, it would have been okay, I think. And since I only have 4 machine units now, I can group them up 2 and 2. But yeah, he gets a really good, some really good attacks here. It hurts like hell. And I think I was trying to see maybe I could like back more. I think that was what I wanted, but I think at the same time I also wanted to do some damage, so I think my next turn isn't really that good either. There's some mistakes there as well. But like he's got in a lot of damage now, and if I could maybe back off and heal up a bit. That's my thinking. But the problem is the flamers are doing so much damage. So if I position myself a bit wrong, it will hurt a lot. Fortunately, the flamers aren't about. So what should I do? Should I back off, or should I try to do some damage? And I think I decided I want to do some damage. The problem here is that by putting my trebuchets in this way, they are close enough together for his flamers to shoot at both of them. So that was a mistake I did. I shouldn't have put them like that. I think it would have been better to like the thing I want to do here is I want to kill his hero, and I think I managed to do it, but the cost is that my trebuchets take a lot of damage. I think he manages to kill both of them actually. So I'm not sure if it was worth it that way, because like some of my troops can tank his flamers better than others. I have these 3 forge priests, and after I put the heal, the unit that is healed has a bit more fire resistance as well. So if I would, I think I should have healed my sorcerer here with one of my forge priests. And this flyer, it's elite also. There's a lot of fire resistance as well. I think this might have been a good idea to go forward and heal the sorcerer instead, and let the other forge priest heal the Archdruid. But the way I'm positioning myself here, it's the trebuchets will take a lot of damage, and my heroes that just use the abilities that aren't in defend are gonna sit in the front. But it was kind of the only way for me to try to steal that Dragon Ancestry buff from the Flamer. But maybe it was a bit greedy. I could have gotten unlucky on that fireball, but fortunately I managed to get a good roll. And I think I'm also putting my units too close to each other. But it's difficult when you have this big of an army. If you're too spread out, you could just go for like one of my sides and put everything towards that. And other spread out units would lag behind. But I'm defending my trebuchets a bit from the flank, but on the other hand I opened them up for some heavy artillery damage. But that forces his flamers to go quite close to me. And he also gets lucky. But the thing with Dragon Ancestry is that it gives good morale, so you will get these crits on some of your attacks. Otherwise you're getting unlucky. It's not that he's getting lucky, this is expected. If he didn't get any crits, I would be surprised. But yeah, that's pretty much goodbye to my trebuchets. $31 damage. It's pretty good. So if I had them one space more apart, I think it would have been fine. But then he would have used these flamers on something else, so I don't know. They're quite fragile, trebuchets. The problem with Theocrat is that you kind of want to kill his troops, or he might just be able to retreat and heal up and then fight you back if he can manage to disengage. And here he's showing why my position wasn't a very good one. But on the other hand, he's also opening himself up to my counterattack. So what I want to do here is to get my flyer free, because I don't want it to stand there. I want to get in and disrupt his supporting force, get behind his front line. So I'll need to kill the Cherub and waste the attacks of the Raptor so it can't flank me. Here I get very lucky, my archer doesn't die, with it only has 1 HP. And I think if played it a bit different, it would have died. But that means that I can get off my Hornet Swarm. So I think he could have moved a bit more forward with this Elder and shoot the Archer once. And this is why it was kind of a bad position for me to take. I still hadn't used my my spells. I had a lot of casting points left. So I would have liked to have one more turn, but I think the Berserk made it a bit more difficult for me. That and that I was greedy to kill his hero, which I think was only the Warlord that had already spent his casting points. So it was quite a clever bait, you could say, from Ix329 to put his Warlord here in such a position. So this terrain is a bit in the way. I want to move something in front of my archer hero, but there's only one path, and if he walks it, he will block it. So at the same time, I could move my Forge Priests again, but then they will lose one attack, which I might need. So it's a bit of a dilemma. And I should have moved my archer before attacking that Raptor. I think I eventually decided I'll move this here in front to kill it, and then move this archer back. So that was my solution. I'm not sure it was the best, because I still had one musket on my this Dreadnought hero. So it's a bit risky having it in that position. I don't manage to kill the Cherub. I think I should have just shot it with my leader to or check the damage first. And then I could shoot in something else with the Forge Priest. So this was another misplay. I just went for it and didn't really check the damage. So I had pretty good chance of killing the caribou with one shot, and then I could have shot something else. I wasted a lot of damage. On the other hand, there wasn't that much I could shoot with it, but still. And I should have done the Hornet Swarm before. I think then the Raptor wouldn't get one more attack in, one more retaliation. So my Boar Rider would have a bit more HP, because he would have died before getting that last attack in. Here I decide to kill the Flamer instead of just defending, but I think it would have been better of me to just defend, because I don't think he can manage to kill the Flyer, or if he would, it would take a lot of his attacks and spells and stuff. So I should just put it on defend, and his Flamers would take flanking attacks if he were to disengage. So I got a bit greedy and just killed the Flamer. I think it would have been fine just defending there. But it's kind of interesting, even though I'm making all of these mistakes, I feel that I can still win this, and it kind of shows how much of a mistake it was to attack me. Actually, I think I underestimated my my levels or something, or my fire protection. Forge priests are pretty good against fire damage. The good thing about not defending my Flyer is that he's focusing pretty much everything on killing that one unit, while the rest of my army is in a pretty good position to strike back next turn. But it hurts losing that Flyer. It was probably my best unit of this battle, and I think I could have made a lot more use of it if I had just defended instead of attacked. It might still be had been able to kill it, but it would have taken a lot more. It would have more resists, so the spirit damage wouldn't been as much as, and Longbow wouldn't have done as much damage, and all of these different things. And since all of his attacks are quite like low damage from start, the extra resistance would have done more than if it was like one big attack. Yes, I think I might tab it again, or it's lagging a bit. It also means that the exposed Dreadnought here that I thought might have been a risk. She or he is still alive and kicking, and still got a fresh musket to use. And now that everything else is starting to die, my Forge Priest against his fire damage army is pretty good for me. This might have been a bit overkill. I think I could have probably solved the death of the flamer in a better way. And now that raptor leveled up, so he has even more fire protection. I move a bit back to get the charge. But I think if I didn't do it with my bow rider, I might have been able to do something else. But on the other hand, I don't think his musket was off cooldown. So this was pretty alright anyway. So he has 2 Theocrats, I think, and 1 Archdruid that does do non-fire damage. And then his 3 Elders, or is it? I think it's 4 Elders. They don't really do that much now. And he has 4 heroes and 4 elders. Well, I have 2 heroes. No, wait, he has 1 flamer left also. So it's 3 elders, 1 flamer, and 3 heroes. 7 units in total. I have 3 Forge Priests, 1 Axeman, 1 Musket, 2 heroes, 1 Bow Rider and 1 Trebuchet. So right now I'm ahead in units. And I would also say that some of my units are better than his. So already now it's looking quite good. But now I lost my Bow Rider. He still has his turn to do. I think, was it my Bow Rider? Yeah, it was my Bow Rider that died. So it's my 8 units against his 7. Although my Trebuchet might not be doing that much more this fight. I think it dies, I don't really remember. This Axeman is pretty scary for him. So even if he's trying to get back and heal, he's not getting far enough away. I can still catch him. This battle or this part will end kind of abruptly because he disconnects. I think it might be next round or something like that. I don't really remember exactly the point, so the ending to this video might come a bit sudden. And now it's my 8 units to his 6. The muskets are pretty good against the aircraft in this way because he can't kill that. He can't heal that units. So he still has one root spear left to kill that hero. If he has root spear. He hasn't shown if he has it or not. The good thing about Forge Priests is that they have a physical melee attack, so if they can get close to the elders, they will win that fight pretty easily. While he's doing his turn, I'm trying to think a bit what I want to do in my next turn. But it's not that difficult now. I just want to get close with my melee units and shoot at what I can with my range units. So now he's trying to run away. And he decides to kill a trebuchet, I think, instead of the hero. And I think he has much more. I don't think he has any more spells now. But yeah, it's not really working, this running away. And I pretty much won this battle now. And I think he disconnects really soon. He only has his archer here now and 2 elders. I still have 7 units, I think. No, 6 units. No, 7. Anyway, it's I won this battle now, and it's looking pretty good for me to win the whole game now. I've still got enough troops now that I can maybe do some pressure. It's unfortunate that I lost the trebuchet, or I might have been able to go for one of these towns. But yeah, I think he disconnects right now, and he's messaging me on Steam saying that he disconnected. So that will be the end of this part, and the next part will be about an hour and a half, I think. Something like that, and it will be from this decisive battle to the end of the game, showing how I close the deal. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on part 3.